Hi, my club wants to host a showing of Star Wars Episode 4, and I was told to ask you if it would violate copyright if it were for free.
Come and sit down, and we'll talk about it. Why don't you tell me what you know about copyright and fair use first?
Well, I think because we're on a college campus, it's okay to show the movie. That makes it educational.
Not necessarily. Think about copyright as a bargain. Authors give us the ability to use their works, but only in certain ways. Does that make sense so far?
So, you're saying I'm limited in how I can use something. Why?
Copyright was created to give authors the ability to make a living while encouraging them to continue to create. It also gives people the ability to use an author's works for certain purposes without compensating the author, so that society can grow and benefit from that work. Do you know the ways in which the law allows us to use another's work?
Well, I can't quote something in a paper that I write. And my professor shows us movies in class that we discuss, so a student group could host a movie, couldn't we?
You've touched on one of the uses we're allowed to make: educational. Fair use says we can use another's work for the purposes of commenting, criticism, teaching, reporting, scholarship, and research. When you quote someone in a paper, you are doing research, and when your professor shows a movie in class, it is for the purpose of teaching and scholarship. But there are also certain criteria that must be met to qualify for fair use. So let's go over fair use and see if it applies to your club's use of the film.
Okay. How would my club's use be different from my professor's?
An easy way to remember the criteria for fair use is to remember the word pane, like a window pane. There are 4 factors, so each letter in the word pane stands for a different factor. With me so far?
Okay, there are 4 factors. What are they? How do they apply to my club showing a movie?
Let's start with the first part of pane. The P stands for purpose and character of the use. If it is an educational use, it's more likely to be fair. If it's a commercial use, then it's less likely. You're not going to charge for the showing, so that says it's not a commercial use, but that doesn't prove educational use. Is there going to be anything different about the showing? Will you be transforming it? You know, adding something new to the film.
Well, we're going to have students acting along with the movie and fighting with lightsabers. Is that transformative?
It's making the movie interactive. That might be considered a transformative use. Will there be discussion about the film afterwards, or is it just a showing?
It's just a showing. It's for fun.
I would say that the first factor might lean to fair use because of its possible transformative nature, but let's look at the rest. The O in pane stands for the amount being used. Are you showing the entire film or just a portion?
We're showing the whole film. Is that a problem?
The more you use of someone else's work, the less likely the use is fair. So, showing an entire movie makes the use less fair. That still doesn't mean that your use isn't fair. We haven't looked at all the factors yet. Another factor, like the third letter in pane, starts with N. The nature of the copyrighted material. Is it a truly creative work or a factual one? Is Star Wars a documentary?
It's creative. Does that mean this factor is against fair use?
Yes, I'm afraid it does. We still have one more factor to look at. The E stands for the effect upon the market. In other words, does your use harm the market for the original? Is it creating a replacement for it? Is there a way to purchase a license to show it to a large group, a performance license? One of the rights that a copyright owner attains is the right to public performance of their work. Only they can authorize when a public performance will take place. When a video is sold or rented, the copyright owners are permitting home use of that video. Are you showing the movie at home to a close group of friends or on campus to a wide audience?
Wow. There's a lot to think about with this. Well, we're showing the film on campus to a large group. We're not replacing the film, but I guess we're scheduling a performance. Does that mean we should purchase a performance license? And if we don't, we wouldn't be covered by fair use?
It does sound like you need a performance license. The effect on the market doesn't sound like it meets fair use. If you compare your club's use to your professor's, you can see the difference. Your professor is showing it to a limited number of people as part of his curriculum. He is also basing discussion around it. Your club isn't doing that. Your professor's use is also exempted by another part of copyright law that only applies to educators.
Okay, so the club's use might meet the first factor, but it doesn't sound like it meets the other three. Is that right?
Yes, I'm afraid that's right. You are showing the entire film, it's a creative work, and there is a way to buy a performance license. Those three factors outweigh the first.
That was a lot to consider. I'm glad I came to talk to you. Can you help me find out about a performance license?
Yes, I can.